focus on personal growth, health for wealth, and realigning mindset. My name is Serena Holder Campbell, a consultant, coach, content creator, and a trainer. Thank you for joining the Mindset Academy. In today's video, we're going to show that as humans, we have to believe in something. And so we're going to be talking about believing that dreams can come true. I want to share 5 key points with you today that will demonstrate that dreams can come true. It all depends on how we structure our lives, that it is possible for dreams to come true. I want to start by talking about prayer. We have to believe in the power of prayer. And many times we achieve things because we have our desires and we put all of those desires to work. But in order to get it done, we need to focus on prayer. When we pray earnestly. We pray honestly and diligently. And we also pray and believe that whatever we pray for, those dreams will come true. And so I want to share my personal experience, how I acquired some of the things that I have and how it was all established through prayer. That's where it all began. Many years ago, I wanted a car so badly. I didn't even think about a car. So my girlfriend had a nice car and she said to me, Serena, come on, it's about time you get a feel of what my car feels like. Come on, take a drive off this car. So bravely, I've never been in a car before. I've never driven a car before. I've never desired to drive a car. But here I was with my girlfriend. I went in, she showed me what to do. She wasn't even in the car. And she said, just drive down the road there for a little bit and just circle and come up. So of course, it was an automatic car. So put the car in drive and I held the car in the road nicely. I drove down the road and I came back and it felt so good being in control of that car. And that is the day when I knew I needed a car. I started praying. I said, God, I don't know where this money is going to come from, but I am anticipating that I am going to need a $20,000 car. I didn't have $20,000. I had no place where $20,000 will be coming from. But I just knew I wanted a car and I was not able to pay more than $20,000 for that car. And I prayed and I was going to my brother and, telling him that my sister-in-law was actually running a little partner. In Jamaica, we call it partner, where people put each week, you put a certain amount of money. And at the end of that period, somebody will get all that money that has been accumulated. We call it partner. So I wanted a partner draw. I wasn't in the people's partner. I wasn't in there. I didn't have a hand in there. But I bravely went over and I said to them, I need my partner draw because I need to go and get a car. They laughed at me, of course, because they knew I didn't have a hand in the partner. But anyway, my brother said, okay, I will lend you $7,500. And so with that $7,500, my husband scraped up and I scraped up whatever I could find. And I had this $20,000 and I decided, okay, I'm going to look a car now. One day out of the blue, my husband came and said, I see a crash car down the road. And my husband is an auto welder. So he was able to fix any car that we would get. So he identified this crash car. When he went and he spoke with the guy said, listen, give me $20,000 and take this car. How much more can you expect? My husband took that $20,000 and he went and he purchased that crash car and he brought it home. And for me, it was a whole car because for me, my prayer was answered and I got a car. We didn't have the money to fix it right away, but I know that was the beginning of great dreams. Okay? So I remember many days also I would sit in that car and I would sit in that car with the kids and, pretend to be driving and to be going places. And I remember telling the kids that, very soon I'm going to be driving this car down the road and you guys will be sitting with me in this car. And they laughed because they didn't envision their mom driving, because they've never seen this as something that I desired before. And so for them, it was just a joke. Since then, I've owned 6 cars since that one, starting from my prayer for a $20,000 car. And the second thing I want to talk about is desires. You have to want something so badly that it feels like it's burning, right? And that's how I felt when I wanted this car. I have this burning desire that I must have this car and I must have this car very soon. It was just a seed that was sown by my girlfriend. A one small seed that was sown. And from there, my life has never been the same because I believed in the power of prayer. I also believe in having your desires that burn so badly. Many times, things happen in our lives and they appear to be very negative things. However, how with our renewed and rejuvenated mindset, then we therefore channel all of that negative into something positive. And I also want to share another personal story. So, as a health promotion officer, my job entailed going to various settings, including schools, and talking to young people, principals, school teachers, staff, about different health information. And one of the things I usually do is train peer counselors. And I usually talk to the young people about sex, sexuality, and the whole sexual behavior, sexual promiscuity, and all of those things. Now, I was teaching all of these things, and at age 16, my daughter in high school, a school that I've actually gone into on many occasions to talk to the young people, my teenage daughter at age 16 got pregnant. That wasn't an easy thing to deal. It was a hard task. And I looked at it and said, Lord, have mercy. How am I going to rise above this? I felt so embarrassed. In fact, I was a member of the church, and the church, I had offices in the church actually. But I tell you, when these things happen to us, even the very people who you depend on to give you the kind of support don't know how to do this. So my church never came to my rescue. They didn't support me. In fact, they felt so uncomfortable. They stayed at a distance. I didn't get the kind of support that I was supposed to get. But my daughter, I said to my daughter, listen, you are going to do your exams. I cannot afford to take care of you and the baby. I can only afford one or the other. So if you do your exams and you get them, I can afford to send you to college. If you do not do well in the exams, I will only be able to take care of the baby. I won't be able to take care of you. You have a responsibility to yourself to achieve and to achieve well. So while I'm trying with you, you also have to be a part of that success story at the end of the day. And so she went to the exams and she did very, very well. She went into Teachers College and she graduated 3 years later with a diploma in education. My daughter is a teacher. That baby grew up, beautiful little girl. And all of that just to say that I was able to rise above that situation, that experience. Okay, so at the end of the day, all the mouths that were open became closed because my daughter went to the exams and passed all the subjects, and the other students who were not pregnant sat in that exam every day looking at her because they're expecting her to fail. God so have it that the examiner saw how heavy her tummy was at the time because she was close to birth by the time it came to exams, and they allowed her to do the other additional exams that she had on the same day. She was able to do all of them on the same day, while other people got a chance to go home and do more studies and come and do their exams, right? So sometimes we have to guide the negative things that happen in our life to a path of positive. Okay? I also remember another story when I was a community peer educator at the health services. Remember one day my supervisor wanted to send me somewhere and I didn't want to go because it was not appropriate based on the request and where we had to go and what was required of the job. And I refused to go and I explained why. But she didn't like me for whatever reason. I had seen some things that I was not supposed to see and I'll just leave it at that. And so because of that, she did not really particularly like to have me around. And so whatever it takes. So she said to me, okay, if you don't go, you have abandoned the job. So I walked out of the building. I went downstairs to speak with somebody. But when I went back in the building, when I went back in the office, she said to me, you have abandoned the job. You left the office. Anyway, things didn't turn out so well. I ended up leaving. But I tell you, I was able to watch a few months later where they were searching for me. They searched me out, found me, and brought me back to the organization because they felt that I had a lot to offer. And that is one negative situation that's turned around. And because of my return, I was able to make it to the parish officer's position in charge of an entire parish in Jamaica, and not just any parish, but one of the major parishes in Jamaica. With all the things that are happening in our lives, we have to be thankful and believe that dreams can come true. All right? When I was 17, I fell in love with a man. He's my husband today, many years later. And my mother paid for my Caribbean examination at that time, my CXCs, paid for them, and I ran away from home. I was a naughty girl. I ran away from home with this man, went into another parish, and I stayed there for a while, but of course, that was not my dream. That was not my desire. I did not have any CXCs. My life changed. But when I returned to the parish where I was from, I realized that life could not be the same for me. And so I put my dreams to test. And I said, I need to be somebody. And I went back to school. I got a certificate in social work. I got a bachelor's degree in guidance and counseling. And I have a master's degree in counseling and consulting psychology. I got promoted from place to place. I've moved from one level within the organization, within the Ministry of Health, to the highest level until I got to the level where I was a senior executive officer at my last position before I left. So dreams can come true. You just have to channel those dreams into a path where you determine that you are going to achieve. And the other thing we need to talk about is believing in yourself even when others don't. You have to pray without ceasing. You have to know that, maybe sometimes you are alone at the crossroads. No one is there to help you. And know that only you can decide when it is finished. And I just want to end by sharing with you the heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards through the night. Thank you very much for sharing. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. And if you like the information that has been shared, click the like button and hit the notification bell. That means when I'm out with something else, you'll be the first to know. I'm happy that you were able to join me.